from Studio A at 1 Biloxi Square in Fort Worth, Texas.
By God.
Welcome into the Grandpa and Pappy Show for this Wednesday. We hope everyone is doing well and that everyone in your household is good.
Yeah.
As we start off our second 100 episodes together.
Yep.
And we want to thank everyone for the nice comments that we got on our 100 episode
That was fun.
show. That was fun.
It was.
That really was
We'll
fun.
do it again in about 99 more shows.
If I last that long.
Yeah.
Yes. Before we get going, I want to, I told you about a week and a half ago, my brother was admitted to Baylor Hospital in Dallas after suffering COVID, and he has underlying conditions from his time in the Vietnam era war. And we were concerned with him, but I'm happy to tell you that he is home and quarantined for 2 weeks. They put him on what the infectious disease doctor called the Trump juice.
Good stuff.
Yeah, the Trump juice. And they gave him 4 doses of it, and it just perked him right up.
Been chasing his tail ever since.
Kind of, yeah. All he's wanting is a chocolate-covered donut.
Well, no, knowing the Palmores the way I do, there's no doubt in my mind old Archie was he's tougher than bootleg.
He is tough.
He probably told him to stick it and went home.
Yeah, well, he was trying, according to his son. He said, all my dad was doing was griping about being in the hospital. And
wanted that damn chocolate-covered donut.
Yeah, and he's a diabetic, so he can't have them, but he still wanted them.
Yeah, that don't take the desire away.
I know you watch the show. You're right here in my heart, brother, and I'm proud of you. Do what the doc says now, butthole.
That's right. Good juju on you, big boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Got a interesting show today, a two-parter. But for the first part, we're going to be talking about why is the silent majority quiet?
That was
on
asked
voter fraud
by one Laurie Henson.
Yes.
One of our valued listeners.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for sending that in, by the way.
Yeah, we are getting more and more of our subject matter being suggested by you, our viewers, and we appreciate that so much.
That's a good thing, because that means he can quit fussing at me about coming up with some subject matter,
Yeah, that'll never happen.
Nah.
That'll never happen.
I'm a marketeer, not a writer.
Yeah, well, let's see. And also, I was wanting to tell you, we got one of the sweetest viewer comments I think the Pappy and Grandpa and Pappy show has ever gotten, and we're going to share that with you toward the end of the show.
Yep.
It was very heartfelt, and we appreciate it more than you ever know. Pappy and I read it, and it touched our hearts.
And I don't know this young lady.
I don't either.
Well, welcome aboard.
She's a new subscriber.
A new friend of ours.
Yeah, a new friend of ours. Yeah. But let's get to things at hand. The election is still up in the air. No certified winner of the presidency, even though Michigan yielded to Democratic pressure and certified their vote yesterday or last night. The legal battles keep on. We'll keep up with that.
That and this just in. OU sucks.
And yes, still.
By God, it is time. Let's get after it, big boy.
Let's do it. Why is the silent majority quiet on voter fraud? Asked by Laurie Henson. Thank you, Laurie, for that. Well, let's start it off. Charlie George says it was let out of the bag today. Hold on. Miracles are coming.
Poopy's rolling down the hill as we speak.
Yeah, kind of.
And my buddy up in Oklahoma, Rory Belinda Tatum, said, I'm just being patient. I have all the faith that my president has this covered. By God.
And I'll tell you, he's using every legal procedure that he has available to him under the law. He's using it.
Well, I still think he's got aces in the hole. He
for
always
some
does,
reason, I do too. I'm right there with you. Something just tells me
he's been quiet.
Something is up his sleeve.
He's up to something.
Yeah. But you
bless his heart.
Trump fans out there, Republicans, hang on. It ain't over with till the fat lady sings, and she hadn't cleared her throat yet. So Mike Nelson said mainly it's because we are still searching for the facts.
Yeah.
But as the facts are slowly being discovered, the voter fraud becomes public.
Yep.
You won't hear the facts reported on the mainstream media, however. I have a feeling that the findings are going to turn the Democratic Party upside down.
And inside out. You'll hear facts reported on mainstream media, but it's not actual facts.
That's right. That's exactly correct.
The Hodge twins told me that.
Oh, you did they? Yeah.
And then, of course, we got old Justin Agee up there in Washington, D.C., ask, what evidence of voter fraud do you have?
Well, he and Doug Gressett had a nice exchange.
Well, Justin got his head in a hole somewhere. Huh?
Doug Gressett
Pretty
answered
obvious.
Justin by saying, "You are correct to ask.
Yeah.
Only actual, hard, physical evidence presented in a court of law will have any effect on these election processes and results. I personally think there will be some evidence presented and even proven, but I doubt it will be enough to change the outcome of what many of us hope for.
Yeah.
Only time will tell what, if anything, is proven and what effects it will have. Patience is all we have right now."
Well, I'm about out of that. And then Justin Agee rebutted by saying to Doug Gressett, he said, "I agree. Is there voter fraud? Of course there is. There always has been and always will be dishonest people that will twist the system for their benefit, and that's a fact. I do not believe in wholesale systematic voter fraud schemes. Trump is trying to hold on as long as he can, and that fighting spirit is what attracts people to him. But that hubris was his down. What the hell is hubris?"
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Justin, you have words that I don't even know.
Are you smoking the tobacco again? I mean,
smoking them left-handed cigarettes, that boy. But that hubris was his downfall, is what he said.
That's what he said.
Okay.
But Justin, to answer you, they are looking into the software. Karen,
Yeah.
what's it called? Diminutive or Dominion? Dominion. And they are finding out that it was created to change votes. You got anything to say about that?
Well, I was just saying they are really investigating that software pretty deeply.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because part of the people that sit on the board is very left leaning. And some of the commentary I've heard on Newsmax was that
Commercial.
that the software is in the main blue counties that stopped the voting during that period of time, and they believe they dragged and dropped votes in between that time. Now that's
So in other words, it
don't
opened
know
up
if it's
that
true or not
3 a.m. window.
Yeah, there's that old 3 a.m. window again.
But one guy that came out
Yeah.
from Venezuela, where they use that same software, and he said it's just like what happened in Venezuela several years ago.
Golly.
And they're about as crooked as a TV crook over there.
Ain't it so?
Yeah.
Our buddy Patrick Lipka asked, "Where is your proof?" And Deanna Lucero said she's just patiently waiting.
So there, Patrick.
Yeah.
Shelley Chisholm said it because it won't matter. If Biden wins, the country sucks. If Trump wins, they won't let him do his job to make our country better. It's a lose-lose situation.
Shirley, great observation.
Yeah.
That
Hang
is
in there, Shirley. Help is coming.
Mark Green said it's because we're like deer hunters, patiently waiting for that right moment. The silent majority are collecting real data and watching the actual discovery of voter fraud being found in many states.
Yeah.
The discovery of the computer software that can switch votes is being thoroughly investigated now, and if they find that states used it, the whole election may be ruled inconclusive, and the House of Representatives will name our next president,
Well,
which they have the power to do.
yeah, they do. But, and you know who it'll be.
And that's why the Democrats are fighting so hard
Yep.
against all of these investigations, because if they dig deep enough, the Republicans dig deep enough, or the Trump legal team digs deep enough, then it's going to throw that into the court system, which the Supreme Court has the ultimate right over all of the courts.
Yeah.
But if they come up with a tie, then it goes to the House of Representatives. Now, Karen brought this to my attention the other day, and we barely touched on it during our 100th episode show. If it does go to the House of Representatives, they don't get all these votes.
Right.
They have one vote per state.
Yeah.
And 37 states went with Donald Trump.
By God.
So that's the majority. And if it does go to the House of Representatives,
and even that's after
President
change.
Trump will have another term.
Money will change that as well.
Well, that's true, too.
Yeah. Brandon Barr asks, what can we do? The press is a juggernaut of lies, and most of us have been speaking up on the subject for months.
We sure have.
We have to let it play out in the courts and hope President Trump and his team prepared enough for this ahead of time.
And I'm telling you, he saw it coming as soon as the Democrats came up with the idea of mail-in votes.
Well, that and the cornholio virus, you know. I mean,
the virus.
I still think that was an agenda.
I think it was too. But for all of those suffering from the coronavirus, we want you to get better.
Well, yeah.
And the nice thing about it, over 98% who get it survive. So
it doesn't take away from the fact that the virus is real. I mean, God bless you if you've got it, and just like your brother Archie, you know, he come down with that mess, and
but he beat it.
Yeah, he did.
He beat it. You can beat it, and they got the stuff out there to heal you. And now, if I'm hearing things correctly, Trump juice.
Trump juice.
He said he could never remember what the actual name of what they were pumping into him because it had a name about this long. So the infectious disease doctor said, "I'll just make it easy for you. It's the Trump juice. That's what we gave our president when he came down with it." So, but I still think, Pappy, in what you were talking about, when the president saw all of this movement to have mail-in votes, he could see right there that this is not going to be good.
Why
and
all
he
of a
formed
sudden
that
does this
legal
process
team then.
need to change, you know? I mean, hell.
Yeah, you can go out to eat. You can go out to have a drink. You can riot by the thousands, gather by the thousands, but you can't go to a polling place and vote in person.
Nor, as of this morning, I was watching the morning news with a divine one, and they're coming out saying, we strongly urge you not to have gatherings in your home because that's the main cause of COVID. I'm going, what the cornbread hell are you talking about?
That's true. In Oregon, I think Portland governor has put a mandate out in Oregon, I believe it's Oregon, stating that she's getting her police, which I think they were wanting to defund. That if you have a gathering of 10 or more at your home, the police have the right to go in there.
Oh, Jesus.
And
check.
And check. And if you have more than 10, you will be fined $1,000 for having a gathering more than 10. Now, this brings to mind,
probably
they
per
talk
head,
about Trump being a bully. That's nothing but dictatorship.
Socialism.
And that's getting rid of your personal freedoms.
That's right.
Nobody has a right to go in your home unless you're doing something truly illegal.
Tell him, Sister
I'm
Karen.
telling
By God.
Jalapeno.
Glory, hallelujah.
Jalapeno. That's right.
Jalapeno. Holy smokes.
Pass the mustard, please. If they think I'm going to wear a mask in my house, they pull up
They can kiss
mucho caca.
yeah,
you know,
kiss the bottom of my boots.
kiss me where
The sun don't shine.
that's right.
Yeah, Mason Williams finished up the segment by saying the silent majority stays silent for a reason. What's the old saying? Walk softly and carry a big stick.
By God.
That sums up the silent majority. We don't make a lot of noise until the time comes when we have to, then Katie bar the door. I think that in the coming days, proof of widespread voter fraud will be discovered, and the election will be turned upside down. Just you watch and see.
Well, by God, Mason, I'll be watching.
Well,
And I got my stick.
I told you
got my
back when
stick
I was
polished.
president. Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting comments. It really
Very,
is.
very interesting,
We
and
appreciate
it
that.
really gets people to thinking
It does.
about the silent majority, and there is a silent majority. It's proven.
Well, yeah.
And then you had the million-person march for President Trump last weekend.
What's old big boy's name? It's what's his name? That old big boy that's campaigning for Trump.
Oh, I can't think of his name. I saw that video though.
I wouldn't mess with him.
Oh no, oh no.
He got built like a damn fire hydrant. You know.
But anyway, they had that up there, and it was so clean. You know, it was so clean after they left, they didn't have to pick up any trash or anything.
That's right.
That tells you something right there.
That's right.
But here's the thing that gets me, and I'm going to get on my soapbox just a little bit,
good.
Pappy. Sorry. What gets me is that they had some left-wing protesters that decided to show up
Yeah.
as they were dispersing and started picking fights and hitting on people in the Trump rally.
Yeah.
Now you look, and there's video evidence of it.
Yep.
Video evidence of it. The Trump people were not fighting back.
You won't see it on CNN.
And then the
though.
police came in and formed a gauntlet around the Trump supporters, finally. But you see it on the news. It was all of these hate-mongering Trump supporters that started trouble. Now, folks, come on.
Why can't we just?
You
all get
cannot
along?
be that stupid.
Well,
Really?
they don't do that kind of stuff in Tejas.
You're that stupid to think that people that gathered with that kind of numbers and left no trash, no nothing, they picked up after themselves, respected that city,
Yeah.
whereas you left-wingers, it takes weeks to clean up after you guys.
Well, yeah. If anything's left in the ashes, you know.
And it's so.
They don't pick up. They just burn the
They
shit
just
down.
burn the hell. Yeah.
Create a
Golly.
walking hell.
Stop and think about it. And I will say this. Now, in reality, I will say this. If for some ungodly reason Biden is certified as the president,
I think it's going to happen. I do.
we have to go on, but it doesn't mean that we like it. It was like 8 years of Obama. Okay, we didn't like him, but we didn't go out and protest and riot and all this stuff.
You know,
we lived with it.
Kind of like you Trump haters. You didn't like it, but
You guys on the left started protesting the day he got elected and
Yep.
haven't stopped since.
yeah.
That ought to tell you the character of people that are on that left.
Or
And
there might be something
I
about
heard
old
this
Donald we
morning
don't know.
that AOC and her
Squad.
squad of puppets
Squad.
called all of those who gathered for a Trump rally at any time a bunch of Nazis. Nazis.
What are you saying?
No, she actually called them the Klan.
Do what?
She
Yeah,
called
well,
them the Klan.
Well,
It
she
was a
called them
Klan,
the
yeah.
Nazis too, but yeah, you're
I
right.
hate to
they
break
did.
it to her. The Klan was started by the Democratic Party.
Damn, I left my hood
Let's
at
get
home
this
again.
story right.
I
The
left
Klan
my
was
hood at
not
home
started
again.
by
Oh,
the
man.
Republican Party.
And
It
that's
was.
true.
That's
That's
right.
true.
You know, they're the ones that started slavery, all that crap.
I
So,
did have my
She
sheet.
needs to go back to school.
by God, you tell them, sister.
I did have my sheet here somewhere. Oh, my sheet. My sheet. Ha ha. I got you. I got you. I got you. But it's going to be interesting in the coming days. And
Oh, yeah.
and I want to thank Lori for that question
That's
that
right.
brought out a lot of good opinions from our listeners.
And Lori, keep your powder dry, darling.
And the second
keep your
segment
powder
of
dry.
what we're going to be talking about was suggested by our good friend James Wilson, who is a relatively new subscriber to the Grandpa and
And
Pappy
we love
Show.
having you aboard, James.
And he asked a
Kinda
simple
wish us
question.
luck.
He asked a simple question. Will you be willing to fight if America goes socialistic?
Yeah, I will.
Yes, I will.
I'm willing to fight it, even at my old age, even if they don't. You know. I mean,
Yeah, we had some interesting comments.
patience my ass. I want to shoot something.
Let's just get to it. Charles Jameson said, I can't speak for anyone else, but as far as I am concerned, I will fight for my rights as a free American.
By God.
There have been too many brave men and women who have fought and died for those rights, and I will fight too, if necessary. Americans have become too soft, and our young people have succumbed to the left-wing rhetoric that has been taught to them instead of being taught what it actually means to be an American.
You know, that's powerful.
That is a powerful
very good,
statement.
Charles, and I agree. I concur wholeheartedly. I do. You know, I mean, that's what America was built on.
That's exactly correct.
We took it by the gun, and we'll end it by the gun, probably.
Yeah, it's just like you and I were talking about in the first segment. If they come to my house
Pew pew pew.
demanding that I wear a mask in my house,
Yeah.
it ain't going to be pretty. I will say that if I ever have to shoot a fellow American, that will haunt me the rest of my life. But
Yeah.
as an American and as a family man and as the
You
provider
have
for
that
my
right to do
house,
so.
I
By
have
God.
that right to defend my family, and I will.
By the
I
very
won't
Constitution they're trying to wipe out.
Just like I don't hesitate to say I'm a Christian. I don't care if you believe I'm a Christian or not. I am.
That's right.
And I'm not ashamed of it. And I will fight for it.
By God.
Yeah, so there you go.
And Brandon Barr said it well. He said, I took an oath to fight all enemies, both foreign and domestic.
And Brandon must have been in the military
Yeah.
because that is tattooed on their brain from the day that they entered the military.
That's somebody that read the Constitution and took it serious, by God.
Yes, sir.
Well said, Brandon.
Yes, sir. Sandy Layla Armistead said, as a single mom, the thought really scares me. But, yes, I would fight. So there's another one.
By God. Old Frank Edgar said, I suspect liberals are telling themselves.
Hold on just a second. I'm going to start calling Frank the philosopher.
He is. he's like Big Matt. He's another
You
one
know
of
I love you, Frank.
Deep thinkers like Big Al Baker. By
yeah,
God,
like
these
Big
days,
Al.
yeah. But Frank said, I suspect liberals are telling themselves that we're crazy if we think we'll stand up to today's American military. To those folks, I say Vietnam-era Democrats were way, way more mentally and physically tough than today's Democrats are. And the Dem,
D-I-M.
in parentheses, is a purposeful spelling. Creepy Joe Burden put the Dem in Democrat. By God.
Attaboy. Attaboy, Frank. Holy smokes.
Well said, Frank.
I'm surprised I didn't get a comment from Big Al Baker on this, because this seems like that'd be right up his alley.
You know he's conjugating on
Yeah,
one.
probably so. James Wilson, who asked this question, chimed in with his response. He says to turn this country into socialism would be the ultimate disgrace and shame for the United States.
Yep.
We are the only country in the world with the freedoms we have, all guaranteed by the Constitution.
Yeah.
I do believe the true Americans of this great country would rise and fight against all odds to preserve our rights and freedoms. The deck was stacked against the Americans in the Revolutionary War, but they persevered.
Yep.
If it comes down to it, I believe they will do it again.
I'm just wondering if they waited as long as the silent majority's been waiting, though, to make a move.
Well, the thing we know that will happen, that when the silent majority has had enough, it ain't going to be pretty.
Well, it's kind of like, yeah.
It won't be pretty.
Yeah, it won't.
So
Well,
you
it
liberals
will-
get ready. If you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing,
It will
you
not be
better
good for
be
the
ready.
visiting team. Oh, look at here. Crawdaddy Crawford Young said, define the engagement and what we plan to accomplish. Who is our leaders and what are our resources? Are we talking a ragtag team going against our military? If our military leaders defect, they will bring foreign leaders and military to operate the system. That's true.
That's
Are we-
probably true, yeah.
That'd be the last move. Are we going to be able to confiscate the drones? If not, that would be suicide, so you might as well put the gun to your own head. Once you become a defector, you will be fired from your job. You will be living Once you become a defector, you'll be fired from your job. You'll be living on the cash you have saved in a coffee can. That's true. Damn it, Crawford, you scare me these days.
No
Most
kidding.
people will last about a month. It's only after everything crumbles that people will begin to revolt because they've already lost everything and have nothing else to lose. They stack the deck long before they deal the cards. All of a sudden, your vote, opinion, and religious beliefs will not mean anything.
That's pretty heavy stuff.
Crawford getting deep on us, isn't he?
Crawford, you're scaring me.
That's well said, Crawdaddy. I hate admitting that to you, but that's well said,
But you
brother.
know we love you, man. We know
we
we
do.
love you.
That's right.
You just keep them opinions coming
And
because all of a sudden you're making a lot of sense.
That's right. By the way, the field office is still open. Come see us.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Darla Walker and Christy Hare Pollard both said yes, they will fight.
Absolutely. And Chris Schomburg said, I'm willing to die for my rights. Are you willing to die trying to take them?
Whoa. Simple
Now that's
and to the point.
that is the murmurings I'm hearing around the trailer hood.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
God.
And it all comes back to what we were talking about a while ago. You coming to take my right away from
That's right.
my own house?
Better-
Forget it.
Better hope you're not allergic to lead.
Yeah, no kidding. Lead poisoning is deadly, you know.
It'll get you. I know for a fact.
John Bossy says we are called to defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It is not like they are Presbyterians or Kiwanis. They are socialists and communists, intent on destroying the nation our ancestors fought and died to protect.
Yeah.
They are the enemy to the American way of life. John,
Oh, God.
well said.
Yeah.
That is well said.
That's a fact. And last but not least, Samuel Rose is going to close this segment out by saying the thought just scares him, but yes, I'd fight to preserve the American way of life. The question you must ask yourself is, do you have the guts to stand up and fight and possibly die for our country if the time's called for it?
Mm-hmm. Good question.
Actually, I know me and my amigo do, by God. Or would you just fall in like a little puppy to the demands made on you by those that install socialism in our country? Will today's young people who have been taught this nonsense in our schools and colleges be willing to die for it? No, they wouldn't. I don't think they have the courage to go into actual battle with fellow Americans who they'll be facing should a revolution of the people happen. It is complicated, but one that might actually come to fruition. That's a hell of a way to look at it. It is. I agree with that.
He's just actually telling it like it is.
He's just speaking the truth.
He really is.
It's well said,
really
brother.
is.
Well said.
Thank you for all of those.
Yeah.
And
you guys rock. I mean,
they really do.
I love it. I
And
love
thanks
hearing from
to
you guys.
James. James, thank you for the subject question of the day.
Yep.
As you know, Friday we did our 100th episode show, which prompted a young lady to write one of the nicest things I think Pappy and I have ever read.
very
So
touching, yeah.
let me read it to you right now. And Lori, I did not use your whole moniker on there.
You'll be known as Lori DJT from now on.
Lori DJT commented on the YouTube or on YouTube about our 100th episode show. Yeah. She said, "So this is going to be a long one, but please bear with me. To Mrs. Special K, that montage was tear-jerking.
Absolutely.
But I felt all of the positive notes that you placed in it, and it was amazing. To Grandpa and Pappy and Special K, congratulations on your 100th episode.
Thank you.
I've watched every show and loved all of your videos. I have an amazing mother and father. They have loved me, they taught me, and they're awesome, and I don't deserve them. Wow. When it comes to influences, I can't nail down any one person. At this point in my life, I can say that my two favorite old friends have passed away, but as I look back now, the best advice they gave me, I ignored. I can hear them cursing me and lining me up daily at this point. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've been a fool. I've been selfish and ignorant, lazy. I've done it all. I don't know why, but God has not let go of my hand, and all I can do now is move forward and do my best to honor my parents, my family, my influencers, and this country's heroes and elders. I just wanted to thank y'all for being so real and for continued shows. Wow.
Lori, you're an awesome blossom girl.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever written to us.
Yeah.
And it really touches us when we read that.
And we're honored to have you aboard with us.
Absolutely.
Lori. Yeah. Sherry Mason said, I loved your show on what advice you'd give your kids. Some of the opinions expressed were the same ones I heard growing up and what I tell my girls to this very day. Great show, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you. It was a good show. And if you, like a couple of folks, gave us suggestions today for programs, if you have an opinion or you have a suggestion, it's very easy. Just go on to our email account, which is grandpaandpappy at gmail.com, or
you can hit us directly, hit us up directly on our show webpage, which is www.grandpaandpappy.com. That's grandpa with the letter N, pappy.com. And you'll see that big red button right there. Just push on that rascal and subscribe. All you got to do is make up a little password. And,
and you can send us opinions and everything on either Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter from that point.
Yeah.
Or you can go on to our Grandpa and Pappy Facebook page, group page, which you will be able to read a lot of these opinions before they even air.
Before they even get edited.
That too.
That's all I can do is read them. I can't make comments anymore.
Pappy, we still have some T-shirts left. This picture was sent to us.
Couple here?
I sure do. Lindsay and Brett Hardy from Waxahachie, Texas, have asked for their T-shirts and obtained them, and they're very proud wearers of our T-shirts down in Waxahachie.
By God, we
Miss
appreciate
Lindsay
you guys.
is a teacher of special needs children, and Brent works at the glass factory down there as a social coordinator.
She's a little old gal. He's a big old boy.
Which takes after her mama.
Yeah.
She's a little old gal.
Little old gal.
Little old girl.
He still looks pretty husky.
But it was a good show.
Looking good, though. Yeah,
we
great
enjoyed
show.
it. If you have gotten a Grandpa and Pappy T-shirt, please take a picture of it, send it in to us, because we'll feature it right here on the show.
And if not, buy one, and by God, we'll put you right on the front page.
Absolutely. Let my amigo know right here. He'll get them to you.
I'll save you shipping and maybe give you a couple of something to go with that T-shirt.
For $20, he'll send it to you and some extras.
You'll pay me now. You get T-shirt.
That's exactly right.
By God.
We invite you to join us back Friday as we close out the week together. As we always tell you, please hug your children and let them know you love them.
And take care of one another and let them babies know that we love them right here at grandpaandpappy.com.
Absolutely. And until we get together again on Friday, go to our Facebook page, make some suggestions, and answer some of the questions with your opinions.
Give a couple old parts something to talk about.
There you go.
Yeah.
Until we see you Friday, take care of yourself, everyone.
And one another.
That's it. Love one another. Be safe. And we'll see you then. Till then, bye.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.